I have a quick question for you. Are you a Texans fan? If the answer of that is yes, then you got to go down and hit that subscribe button. Daily Texans videos all year long. And on today's show, I'm going to be breaking down some massive news that could impact your Texans going into next year. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably because you're not subscribed. Go down and hit that subscribe button. 100% free all year long. And I know what you're thinking. Jeremy, this is Brock Purdy. This is the 49ers. Why are we talking about this on Texans today? Well, this is because I don't care if it's not in your conference. I don't care if it's an NFC team, another, division, another quarterback. This news right here, this affects your Houston Texans. The 49ers and Brock Purdy have agreed on a 5-year, $265 million extension before the start of this offseason. And now this kind of lays some framework on how we could see other quarterbacks a la CJ Stroud get paid in the future. Tom Pelissero with a little bit more nuggets around the deal. It's a 5-year deal, $265 million contract, and Purdy's going to get $181 million in total guarantees, including $165.05 million in the first 3 years of the new deal that runs through 2030. And now, I know this. We're going to get back to CJ Stroud, but on the part of Brock Purdy getting paid, I do think he deserved it, right? A guy who was the last pick, Mr. Irrelevant in his draft. And look at those 2023 numbers, right? 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Fun fact, in 2023, the two most efficient quarterbacks in throwing the deep ball, Brock Purdy and CJ Stroud. Both those guys lit it up in 2023. Had a little bit more of a down year. Only played 15 games compared to 16 games in 2023. Still had 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. And it's kind of funny because the stats kind of are reminiscent a little bit of a CJ Stroud, right? 2023 just blew up the league. And then 2024, a small step back. And I think, at the end of the day, Purdy deserves this contract. He was getting paid pennies on the dollar, playing the most important position on the football field, and now he's finally getting what he's worth. And now that means there's a new highest paid quarterback list that I got to show you. The top 5, that doesn't change. Well, technically the top 1 and then tie 2. But as you look at the right side of this graphic, Brock Purdy now tied with Jared Goff for most or highest paid quarterbacks on a per year basis at $53 million. Tua barely edging them out with $53.1 million. And then you see Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson round out that list, which if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm kind of looking at this list going, wow, am I underpaid? I'm in 10th best, 10th highest paid quarterback on a per year basis, Lamar Jackson, and he's getting MVPs left and right. If I'm Lamar Jackson and his agent, I might be talking to the Ravens front office here in just a little bit. Now, how does this affect CJ Stroud? Now, he's still on his rookie deal, and I know a lot of y'all will be like, well, Jeremy, why are we even talking about this? He can't get paid for a while, right? You'd be wrong in that. Actually, after this season, CJ Stroud will be eligible for a contract extension, and that's why I'm talking about it on today's show. And this is going to be the only question I ask you on this program. Well, I guess technically I asked you, are you a Texans fan at the beginning? The second question I'm going to ask you on today's show: will CJ Stroud be the highest paid quarterback when he gets extended? Because he will get an extension from your Houston Texans. And I think it'll be, if not the highest, the second highest in the NFL. I want you to give me your thoughts down below in the comment section, though. Do you think CJ Stroud will be the highest paid quarterback whenever he gets his new contract? I think yes. I think CJ Stroud will be the highest paid quarterback, the highest paid player in the National Football League once he gets his deal. That's how these things work. Brock Purdy, I think the fact that he had a little bit of a down year was a 7th round pick. Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers took a little bit of a chance on him, right? And I think it worked out for both sides. And I think the fact that Brock Purdy was a 7th round pick, Mr. Irrelevant, the final pick in his draft, I think that played a little bit of a fact of, not that he's, just happy to be there and just happy to get paid as much as he's getting paid right now, which he should. $53 million a year is insanity. But at the same time, you're talking about CJ Stroud, the former 2nd round pick or the 2nd overall pick in his draft class. I think we could see CJ Stroud be like, good for Brock Purdy, seventh highest paid quarterback, but it's my time now. I deserve to be the highest paid QB in the NFL. And I think Stroud will do that because the extension is on the horizon. And he's not only somebody who deserves it for his play on the field. And I don't care what you say about him last season. He was running for his life. And I'll show you that graphic here in just a moment. But also, Stroud is a guy that you want to pay, right? He's somebody who's a leader in the locker room, somebody who's going to be, you can trust on and off the field, something that the Texans can't say about their former quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Stroud is an upstanding citizen and somebody who deserves to get paid like he is the number one guy on the field because that's just who he is. Stroud is that guy. And I know, like I said, a little bit of a dip this past year. I mean, more yards, but when you look at, or less yards, and when you look at it, yes, more interceptions, but the main thing is the bottom one, right? The sacks. 52 in 2024 compared to only 38 in 2023. He played 2 more games in 2024, had 3 less touchdowns, 7 more interceptions. A completion percentage was about the same, but he had almost 400 more yards in 2023 than he did in 2024. I think Stroud is very much deserving of a massive contract extension, and he's going to get that this next offseason. I really do wonder, though, if there's already those discussions, which there should be, between Stroud's agent, between the Texans front office, Nick Caserio. There has to be some sort of groundwork of this deal of saying, okay, hey, we see this contract, CJ, we know we can't extend you right now, but don't you worry, as soon as you're able to get extended, that's exactly what we're going to do. And I think that the Texans should be more proactive in making this happen because I want a happy CJ Stroud. You know how they say happy wife, happy life? I think it's happy Stroud, happy crowd, right? We're all going to be more happy if CJ is happy in Houston. And only one person could do that. Texans front office and Nick Caserio. They got to make Stroud happy. And I think this deal is great news for this Houston Texans team. I think it is because I think, one, like I said, it lays out the groundwork floor of a contract next offseason. If Stroud is just not playing well next year, if he has a similar season to where, he's still, you see the talent, he's still amazing, but the team around him kind of fails him a little bit, you could see this be the baseline floor of this is going to be the contract extension. But at the end of the day, I think this is going to motivate him. I think he sees other guys around him getting paid, and I think this is going to motivate him not only to up his game, but up the game of everybody around him. And I think that's only good news because the Texans have a top 3 defense in the NFL right now. If the offense can just play catch-up, if the offense can just be a top half of the league offense, I'm not asking for a top 5 offense. If this offense can be, the 10th, 11th, 12th best offense in the NFL, the Texans are contenders in the AFC. So we need to get this thing going this year, and I think this is great news for the Texans after the Brock Purdy extension because I do think this is going to motivate CJ7 just a little bit more. If you haven't already, hit me up on social media. I'm on X at Jeremy Chuggs. IG, you can follow me at Texans Today CS, and TikTok, I'm at Jeremy Chuggs. You can follow me on all platforms. I'll be talking all Texans news and rumors all off season long. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and Texans fans, have a great day.